Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Pro League. It's going to be game 2 of the night, just around the corner. We're still locked in this battle of 2 CIS teams with storylines that intertwine back quite some time. We're going to be heading over towards Overpass here as well. A lot of us were thrilled to see we'd be seeing both these customs now in the rotation. NaVi are very good at Overpass, Janko. Are they not?
Definitely, it's one of their strongest map. I mean, NaVi is always touted as one of the teams with the widest map pool. Before the one map they played that was kind of weak for them was Inferno. So it's also one of the maps that Flipside plays, right? And it's the map where an Opera can have a lot of influence, especially on the CT side with the different aggressive setups that teams go for. So I think this is where World Edit needs to step up. He had a quiet game on Train.
Because that's what we were asking of him as well. As we sort of said, like what World Edit's situation as well as a player who's had some scrutiny for not being super consistent, in general, even on maps where maybe you expect to see those Orpas actually take a bit more of a prominent role here. And would you agree with that, Sadikis? But people have been a little bit critical about that, and where from now?
I think World Edit, way back, even in the simple days when he was on this team with them, and when he was the primary upper, we're talking like early 2015, mid 2015. I looked at him and thought, this guy's got so much skill. The thing with him is there's no doubt he's got the skill, and he hits these crazy shots. He misses the impact ones. He misses the ones that matter, and it's the pressure situations when he seems to falter. And you can have all the highlight clips in the world, and there are players out there and across multiple titles that look like the most flashy player in the world. But if you can't win rounds when it's your time to step up, then it's an issue. And that's where I think the inconsistency comes from. And that's where I think he's had to really kind of steady his pace a little bit and try and play a more fundamental game. And there was moments of it where I think probably, let me think about when this would have been, June this year, sort of April, May, June this year, that he actually looked to be making that stride, and now it's starting to slide again, but I think that might have to do with the break. Hopefully he can get back into that form a bit.
We've leveled the idea of problems with risk assessment to players like Simple in the past. What is World Edit's actual problem here? I mean, can we actually follow the crumb trail any further down and see where his issues lie? Is he just missing shots? Is it that simple?
I think it's mostly that simple, right? Because, playing under Blade, you have a couple of things you need to do, right? You have the setups, you have the game plan, but more often than not, it's just when things start going his way, like Matt pointed out, when it's, crunch time and everything, that it's not the flashy things. He can do those, but when it's just about holding your own and, buying time and playing safe, it seems that sometimes he just can't really pull it off.
I think sometimes that's a mindset thing too. I think if you're looking at players like that, like one of the issues that I have in CS in general coming over from COD is in COD you're just moving a lot more. I know people hate comparisons in that sense, but you're doing a lot more, your mind's constantly thinking about more mechanics. I find in CS I feel like I have to do more because I'm not doing as much, and sometimes players, not just obviously because I came from COD, but have that same thing, they feel like they should be doing more. So when all of a sudden a lot does happen, their mind's moving too quickly on other things instead of just slowing it down and just saying, okay, hit this shot, okay, hit. And I think sometimes it's just about settling the thought process down as much as anything. So it is a pretty simple thing to do. It's just being conscious of it.
So putting so much weight on your shoulders, it makes it maybe easier for you to get caught up in the rush of, or at least what you're trying to accomplish here as well. You get these lofty goals or lofty ideals about what you need to do for your team. We've seen a lot of players do it in the past. Let's talk a bit about Overpass now as well, because this, like you said, is a map that has been good for Flipside in recent times, but lately not so much. Can you shed any light on this for us? Is this just a general performance slump for these guys? Because obviously we used to say, yeah, they're great on this map, they really show up, but recently it's not been great for them.
I think the big problem is also the opposition they're facing, right? Because Flipside, a lot of the times, is just on the cusp of that tier 1 level of teams, right? We saw them secure major status in Cologne, but when you play teams like NaVi, the SK teams that are the best teams in the world on the map, it's really hard to have good results. And the map in itself is pretty complex. You need to have a lot of structure on it on T side because you need to find ways to get map control without giving away entry kills to the CTs. We see a lot of times how the CTs go for this body system where they pick an area of the map where they want to be more aggressive, where they want to fight before falling back into the bomb site once they buy enough time.
Yeah, I think that's just to follow that up. I think it's a good point about the opposition too, because both these teams are considered T-sided, but CT side, I would say NaVi on this map have more skill to get aggressive in that way, and therefore I think that's the biggest differentiating factor on this map between the two.
So already tonight we've been able to, I guess, pinpoint some issues for Flipside on the previous map there as well. Coming into these rounds, getting 2 kills, or preventing entries from NaVi, going up 5-3, and then ending up losing the rounds. Now they're the kind of things that you hate to see happen to teams where ideally they should be winning. Why is this happening?
Yeah, that's something they can't allow to happen, right? It's hard for them to get an early advantage, so when they actually get it, they can't just throw it away. Most times it's just miscommunication and being, aware of what your teammates are holding, and also maybe a bit of, recklessness individually being overly aggressive.
There's one point I want to make because I know we're about to get into game. I've listened to Lauren, and she's very critical of Rushley's observing, but I noticed today I actually sat down at his computer while he was outside, and the mouse buttons were switched, the tab key didn't work. I think she's been sabotaging his controls, so I just want to point that out before we get into this one. Spare a moment of thought for Rushley.
She did admit to doing that.
Yeah.
So that is a thing. Shame on you, Lauren. Anyway, let's pass it over to the aforementioned cantankerous individual and Natu to take us into Overpass.
Thank you very much, and thankfully ESL have been kind enough to, put me into a bullying seminar that I'll be attending very soon, and I'll learn the errors of my ways. However, we're about to get this one started onto Overpass, and yeah, this is quite exciting. We've had a lovely series of maps, and actually have the opportunity to watch this one go down. It's going to be good fun here. What are you going to be looking at here specifically?
Again, I mean, it's going to be fun to see that simple factor coming into NaVi, and how does it change? Because on training, to be honest with you, he wasn't able to really create all that much. I wanted to see him be a little bit more aggressive on the defaults that NaVi were running. So let's see if we can manage to do that here on Overpass.
All right, let's keep our eyes towards that as we are underway. T side going to be Flipside, and CT side, of course, going to be NaVi. And already, 2 players through towards Underpass. You've got this really nice pinch coming in towards, I guess, B short or short B here. Shara's going to be the one fighting out there, however, catches off Guardian. But there's the response, instantly able to trade back into this with so many players here. NaVi simply overwhelming Flipside, who just didn't see this coming.
Yeah, that was like the roles were reversed there. NaVi being the aggressor coming in, and now it's all down to Waylander anymore. Oh, it doesn't even have the bomb. It's all actually, it's going to be able to pick that one up. But against 4 CTs. Flamey in prime position to take the last kill for now with the wind up S1, and well, that was a fast one. NaVi pushing in the connector and B short, and just grinding the kills basically. It's overwhelming Flipside.
Yeah, really, I actually really like that. I like them trying to do something a little different on the pistols. It's always quite it's a nice way to see personality come through in teams and how they like to approach it. And this is quite, quite some way of doing it differently. So, Flipside though, going back into this one with whatever they can, upgrading a couple of pieces here and there.
Yeah, they have a smoke, just one lone smoke though, so that does limit their options quite a lot. And you can see NaVi are trying to gather some information, playing quite up front on toilets, but now actually they decide to retreat already to very passive positioning. And let Flipside have the roaming space to go around and try to use his Tech 9s and the Eagles for some killing.
Yeah, and again, I like it from NaVi, sitting back a little bit deeper. I don't think necessarily being super passive is always the answer. I think that I like it on sites like B, where it's very easy for people, Tech 9s just to come barreling and straight up short, and you've got that instant contact. Perfectly fine though, and C's already, I think you can hear them running up here. You can see him kind of adjusting himself on the minimap. He's just listening to them playing up towards the A side of things. NaVi have a great deal of players waiting for this. So Flipside, it's going to be tough for them to make it count here. Certainly not impossible. We've seen it happen before, but again, with the bomb so far back, it's not a full commitment just yet.
No, I mean, they would really need to get the first kills here and then force a bomb plant somehow and fend off the CTs to come in. And now they do pick up the bomb, but it's actually going to make its way towards the B bomb site instead. Quite interestingly.
And C's has no reason to back away from this as well.
That's because Charlotte already actually made his way into B.
Yeah, they've been playing outside the site almost from the very start of things. So C's is purely sat here watching the push to site now. I don't know how Shara sneak by. I guess you can just crouch your way through that and then come up by the pillar. It works, but C's, I think he's going to spot the bomb being dropped as well. So yeah, that's going to give away the game. You can see the instant reaction from NaVi putting themselves over towards that B bomb site. And C's is doing very well for himself. The support from Flamey as well, timed there, but now Waylander in a very bad spot.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a definite bomb plant here for Flipside. But C's, like I said, massively worked there towards the B bomb site. No bomb plant for Flipside, and they're going to have to save this one for sure. They invested quite a bit onto the second round, but still they're going to be able to even get an op in the following round, especially if they get a bomb plant. See if they even buy a smoke here to help their cause. But it's usually actually very hard to get a bomb plant in Overpass in a save round unless you get like 5 smokes and you just try to run for the bomb plant right away.
Yeah, and NaVi going to do 3 players pushing quite aggressively. Simple and Guardian going to be the ones pushing towards Fountain, and they should be able to do so much damage to these guys. And you're going to see it coming through. Nice shot there from Simple to find Markov. A bit of damage coming back and forth, but this is the Simple we want to see. A little bit of aggression here and there, pushing up, feeling confident, and why not? Flamey, however, doesn't check to his left, which will give Shara the shot, and he's going to take it. However, pick up the SMG isn't the biggest, I guess, thing in the world here. If he can take down a couple more players, though, that could be brilliant. Not going to happen. Simple closes down, and a good round from him individually. 4 kills there, but we like the aggression. That's what we wanted to see.
Yeah, and for Simple, it's going to be good to get those early kills going. He gets the momentum going his way, so he can feel it, really. And now we finally do see Flipsid on the buy. Well, that it does have that AWP, but no armor, so it's going to be a glass cannon. Everyone else are on those AKs. They have plenty of utility to work with as well. Let's see if we're going to see another default here like we saw throughout all of Train. I would just like to go for those early picks and then play it out of that, but instead it's going to be Simple, the aggressor, to come in towards the Fountain. Actually has the teammate there too. I think it's Guardian who is with there.
That's absolutely massive as well. They weren't able to be seen as that smoke normally plumes up. You can just normally see maybe CT's heads if it's a traditional AWP peak. No, Simple though. Timing comes to be everything here. Doesn't land the shot instantly, gotta be careful, but shows some real class with that Famas there. Great control, great execution, and Blade's on with the bomb though. That's the important frag that's just gone down. Simple now does get removed off the map. Blade stays alive, but it shows where he is. It shows maybe a little bit of their intentions here, and Guardian still was the initial support, now falls back into the place. Picking up Blade, adjusting perfectly for Markov, reading that play like a book.
This map is so much about map control, and NaVi, straight from the get-go, trying to make sure that Flipside knows that they're going to be playing aggressive towards the Fountain. What that causes is that Flipside needs to use a lot of utility before they even get anywhere near a bomb site. So it's going to be good. Now, right now, Shar in a 1-on-3. Having a bit of a duel going on here. Flamey finally does win it, but he's down to 34 HP, and the bomb is down towards the Fountain. So it's not going to be easy. 35 on the clock.
I don't know if he's going to be able to get back in this one. They're in good positions. He could maybe outdo Guardian, but then there's still so much time for Edward to get the perfect position once he's noticed.
Ooh,
timing is not on Guardian's side. That is frustrating as you like. But of course Guardian's going to hit that shot, no problems.
Obviously.
It's crazy. You'd think most AWPers put in that position will, flounder a bit. You don't want those sort of trades, but Guardian just goes, this is fine. This is what I'm here for. And a beautiful round from him. I loved instantly that he knew next pressure point probably going to be coming from underpass. Just so well for it. It's a joy watching him.
Massive work from Simple.
Oh yeah.
Even the long range FAMAS, which is what you could say is could even actually use a buff, to be honest.
Yeah.
It makes it work in the end. And now a couple of smokes blocked by F3, and they're going to be running into this B bomb site.
Yeah, a little bit late on the molly and the nade there, actually coming out from Seized. It allowed a step towards the site. Now Flipside have taken that. Hap-handed and just goes straight in on that. They're not going to waste this chance, so they've actually got the bomb down. That's the best they could have hoped for here, and then some. They managed to get 2 kills as well. Flamey being low means that maybe there's a little more damage to be done. Not going to get it, but at least a bomb plant might give them a little more to work with.
Definitely does, yeah. That gives him the extra money to buy a little bit more, and obviously getting those 2 kills are going to help things a little bit too. But NaVi is still 5-0 up. And let's see how this aggression NaVi's been showing so far towards the Fountain is going to affect the way the Flipside approaches that part of the map now. Because it usually means, obviously, that you'll have to use a lot of grenades when you go towards there. Because the possibility is always going to be there that Guardian and Simple are going to be the aggressors, and those 2 guys combined is a scary thought.
It is a terrifying prospect. And this is different. We've got 4 players going B?
Yeah, bit of a stack here. Guardian also coming in. Oh, it's going to take that close range shot like it's nothing.
Yeah, they're leaving Simple to be the anchor on the other side almost. He has to be the man to feel it out, see how it feels. Does he feel pressure up long? How's it going for him? Well, then it slaps back Seized. You're not going to get away with that against me today. Well, then they're going to remain alive and keep hope alive for Flipside here. Finally having a man advantage.
Yeah, slight whiff there. Has to be said from Seized, but Simple again being aggressive here. He knows that he needs to take a risk because they are a man down. He does spot Waylander, gets the kill, but he's only down to 19 HP. In a 3-on-3 situation, he's still going to be maintaining his position here in toilets. Phillips probably think, he's obviously going to be falling back. They know he's low in HP. But, well, it's Simple. He's going to be staying around.
If he gets any more, that's 6. Simple! Again! brilliant balance between being aggressive and knowing when you've outstayed your welcome. Tried to back away there, but the HP already was so low. Finding another was just the icing on the cake, really. So now it's a 2v2. Flipside have a good shot, though. They've got mollies, they've got smokes, and they've got a little bit of time to play with if they check for Flamey. Now, of course, when you enter this bomb site, you've got to weigh up the options. We need to be able to be, able to trade. We need to clear the corners. We need to play this out correctly. Guardian's going to buy time by putting down the molly, come round towards bank. And now they've taken a gamble here to a degree, saying, all right, it's got to be an A here. It's got to be. And now it gets confirmed in the worst way. Guardian goes down, leaving it all to Flamey, and he can't do it. Well, then it takes the peak, and he takes the fight, and he gets the round. Finally, Flipside get back into this.
Lovely patience there in that 2-on-2 situation. Mortal just waiting for that angle for a solid 20 seconds, and Guardian eventually walks in to the crosshair from Markelov. He gets the kill, and then they slowly approach Flamey, get that kill also, whirl it with the hit. And there you have it. That was Flipside just beautifully converting that advantage into a round. But obviously they lost 3 members, so now money is going to be an issue here.
Yeah, Edward going to go. Oh, he's missed the smoke.
Yeah, that wasn't meant to be.
Nope. So Edward kind of fluffing that one a little bit there. Not going to allow the early control over Monster, but that's not actually going to be the problem. The problem is a leaping blade, apparently. Guardian doesn't expect that. How can you? Simple's going to have to try and work this out on his own. He's had his duo with him normally, his buddy of play, but he's not going to get it this time. Gets caught by Waylander as he tries to recover the AWP and back off from it, and it leaves such an advantage again with Flipside. They're starting to get the early picks. They're starting to get themselves in this map.
Yeah, solid way of diffusing that early aggression off of NaVi. Played, just coming in, guns blazing. They trade effectively. Now it's a 4-3 advantage. It's a massive advantage in a map like Overpass. Now it's a lot of work for Cease to do here. All of Flipside are coming his way.
Cease can unravel this so well. If he lands the shots cleanly, he doesn't. He only gets one in the end. They weren't checking for it. He could have gone away with far more there, but it is what it is. He at least has the info that the bomb, indeed, is going to be heading towards the B site. So, wasted molly from Flamey. The nade will do a little bit of damage towards Markelov, but not enough to hinder the plant.
Yeah, on that Molotov also not landing exactly the way they wanted it to. And now still 2 players very close to this bomb site in the form of Markelov and World Edit, who's taking an angle there, misses his shot, and Flamey takes the opportunity, gets a kill. But a trade from Markelov. And Markelov with 2, in fact, in the end, is going to secure the round for Flipside.
Yeah, it felt close there, but again, these early picks have been working favorably to Flipside. Picking up, maybe a couple of NaVi aggressive players here and there. Could be a bit of a time for a switch up for NaVi, but at the moment, they're going to have to just suffer through this one. The upgraded pistol is going to come out. We've seen what can happen. Simple's even got armor as well, so again, even more of a threat, more sustainability to it. But Flipside have everything they need. They have the full amount of what they can work with here.
Yeah, it's a very thin line in their aggressiveness when it becomes just a little bit too much. And I feel like they maybe need to tone it down a little bit, maybe go for a long aggressiveness. Just trying to switch things up a little bit. Finally, Flipside managed to force NaVi into an eco here and taking things slow once again. They've taken over the area towards Fountain once again. And Shar just scouting out what's going on in B. And that's where 3 of the NaVi members are right now.
Have they already pushed through? I think, yeah, they have. So again, they're looking for Shar. He's pinned into this side now. So he's got to be quite careful about that. Simple, looking for any opportunity. And, oh, that's a gorgeous angle with the boost as well. He can actually watch Connector pretty well in this one. So if Markelov goes a little too far, tries to play up towards A, you can get caught on this.
No.
The problem is, they're going to be seen surely here. Shara's going to peek it in. He should have the first shot. He gets his added bonus of Simple, but he doesn't land the shot, and Simple almost could have adjusted for the second there. But in the end, they keep it to check. And Flipside going through the motions towards B.
They definitely are. Only Guardian and Edward now left. And Guardian already making his way towards the bomb site. And if he can make a kill happen here, and that would probably go well. He does take the knife out. He's waiting for that bomb to happen. Edward, in the meanwhile, gets 1. And Guardian is just going to be waiting here.
Oh my god, he actually gets the kill. He has no bullets left. That's fine. I start to worry when it's Guardian. Now, anyone else would be like, it's pretty alright. Maybe Simple you get a bit nervous for, but Guardian, yeah, you never know with that man. But no, he was dealt with. The fire put out. And now 5-3, Flipside keeping this one building. They've got a little bit of a bank building up on a couple of players. Markelov's looking pretty good in this one now. Welder is looking good here. Starting to get that money to fall back on. However, for NaVi, certainly not the case.
It definitely isn't. And so far, Flipside been very good at diffusing that aggression, like we pointed out. See what they do. This time around, they do have that long aggression coming in. Edward being the point man and Guardian just jump in with an AWP because why not?
Bit of a different angle there from Edward, just holding the cross through. Does catch Waylander on that. He did have the support behind him as well, but not required. Now 5v3, going to see Shara trying to make a bit of a play towards short, trying to find somewhere to trade it back towards, bring it back maybe a little bit more favorable to Flipside. He's not going to get that chance, as now it's just Worlded and Markelov. And finally, Flipside stop getting those opening potential kills coming in for them. They just get denied on it quite simply, and Worlded are going to get out-peaked there by Seized, and it's left Markelov in a 1v5.
Yeah, well, that was just Flipside trying to make those openings happen, but weren't able to win the battles, and now it's all down to Markelov, and the bomb is down also. He does spot Seized. It's that kill. It's 2, but isn't meant to be, and quite a clean one there for NaVi. Something they needed too, after losing those rounds in a row.
That gun skin is horrible, by the way. So even Flamey doesn't like it. He's like, I'll just take it away from me. Don't like it.
Yeah.
Nope. No, it looks like a Hot Topic kind of gun, you know what I mean? It's not good. Claire's accessories would be nailing that sort of thing. But 6-3 right now. NaVi finally regaining a little bit of control here, starting to maybe find an answer to how Flipside started to unravel what they were doing in those opening rounds. Flipside?
It's very much more assertive from NaVi right now. They just spoke off stairs, and it's just not Guardian. It's going to be spotting long and simple, hanging around toilet, just waiting to see for what's happening with the Flipside, and then just fall back afterwards to play a much more passive A-hold.
Quite like it. NaVi being respectful of what Flipside have been achieving, which is just kind of pushing them back, winning out some of those early aggressive duels, and for CT side, of course, it's so much more condemning. 4v4. Guardian, though, not going to miss a beat. Takes out Blade, and that's still good control towards long. Guardian's going to have to fall back from that. Doesn't want to just get outdone, doesn't want to get flashed and pushed. He wants to find a new position, a new angle, and he's going to get it. Trying to support Simple here as well.
Yeah, exactly. Now they have a buddy system going on here. Simple and Guardian. And Simple just decides to casually walk through that smoke. It's going to be playing with the edge of the smoke, I think. In the meanwhile, though, Flipside is making their way towards the B-bomb site. Bomb flash, though. Flame is going to spot World Edit. He knows something fishy is happening towards his B-bomb side.
Yep, and Waylander finding Simple means at least there's a bit of a chance he can try and support, but while this happens, the massacre's begun already, and it's just bodies strewn everywhere. NaVi deny Flipside any step towards the side itself. They got caught up by Monster. The hold was still there, and sadly for Flipside, they didn't even have a chance of getting in there. This puts NaVi in a great position now. Their money's looking better and better, starting to get a bit more behind them. There's goodbye going to come out, and of course, the money has been depleted from Flipside.
Yep, not a lot of map control being gained from Flipside. I mean, they didn't even really try after Die to Guardian, who did a splendid job of holding long. There's not really any presence towards the toilet area. Simple had a casual Sunday stroll in that round. But this time around, he's not. He's going to be running into connector for that first kill.
But Willie, he did check for World Edit. The intuition on these guys sometimes, I don't know if he heard him before or maybe just spotted him out, I don't know, but great stuff to watch. Leaving just Waylander and Blade. Again, trying to find ways in, but Guardian, this is... if he'd hit that shot, that would have been gorgeous. It's a round they're always going to win here, but they do stop the plant as well. That was quite close, actually.
Very close, yeah.
Wouldn't have been bad if they got a plant against 5 members of NaVi alive. That's kind of impressive in its own.
Yeah, would have made things a little easier for this one here. No AWP for Flipside into this round. Just AK-47s, and let's see what their approach this time is. NaVi being able to now hold off the map control from Flipside. Bit of a switch up from NaVi so far. We've seen them play really aggressive towards the fountain. It seems like we're going to have another piece of that. Now, a pre-flash from Flipside. This is going to humble Guardian a little bit.
This is really enjoyable to watch, seeing so much versatility on NaVi. Even though they're up, they're playing well, they're winning it out. They've left Simple to AWP. Now, again, this is something that was, highlighted, wasn't meant to be happening. That, it's still going to be very much away from him. It's, more seized role, but maybe they're looking at options as to how to approach it.
I mean, it's a pretty scary double op if you have Guardian and people on that op. So it can work, but right now it's a 4-man stack from NaVi towards the bomb side, and then 3 of them are on long. And actually now 2 playing toilets, but the open kill goes the way of Blade and Flipside.
You've got to be asking a question now if you're Flipside, why is Flamey over here? He doesn't normally play here, and you're going to find out why, because Seized is there as well, Guardian's there. It's all going to start becoming apparent here, and it's a little bit too late in the day. Can they even adjust around it? Can they find a way in that's cleaner than their approach right now? There's still 3 players alive for NaVi. Quite deadly ones at that. No disputing that one. But again, where do they take their play? Edward's still on long. Guardian's still there towards A. You've got Waylander pulling himself up through those toilets. They've lost down Edward. This is big now. It's down to the 2 AWPers.
And the bomb is down to T-spawn almost.
Look at the time.
37 seconds on the clock, and Guardian gets a kill. So now a decision needs to be made by Flipside so they don't throw this one away. Now they're going to have to run their way through towards the B bomb side that is occupied by Simple right now with that AWP. So this could definitely get scary here. 21.
I actually don't like this spot from Simple. At least he can get so easily overwhelmed by short, but here it is. He can't really back away. He's so nervous that someone's already up a short. He's going to be pincered in. He can't fight his way out of it. It was less than a one and done spot. 10 seconds left. They're going to get the plant. And just put Guardian in a 1v3. It's almost impossible at this point for him. Then again, it is still Guardian. And he does still have that up to hand, but this just doesn't seem likely with any good after plant spots.
No, definitely not. Unless Flipside really stretch it and take some peeks and let Guardian into this round, there should be no way that he wins this. Well, he's still going to be committing in that 100%. Just jump down into water, starting to scout out for the Flipside guys.
Well, their money's pretty robust, so why not go for it, I guess. And oh my word, Guardian, don't you dare! He only gets the 2. Markelov.
It only gets the 2.
Oh no. Markelov.
That's one way of downplaying it. He wasn't supposed to get 2 out of that.
He wasn't meant to get like one of them at most. Let's be honest. Like, how does he do these
Massive kills
things?
in a sense where this is really going to hinder Flipside's buy into this. Yeah. And again, if NaVi picks this one up, I mean, it's just going to be a blender for Flipside in terms of their economy, as Waylander has to go for a Tech 9 to get all the utility they need. Wow. Well, just another one of those. But Simple then again, he missed a shot he should have been hitting any day of the week, to be honest with you, towards the B bomb side there. Doesn't hit it, and now Shara with the opening on Flamey to make matters a little bit worse for NaVi.
Yeah, Guardian tried to make a bit of a play happen through connector there. Not going to be the case. It will probably come down to Edward and Seized if Flipside go the way they're going, and Shara finding that is going to help things to no end. Edward now has to do it all. Takes the shot early, tries to pick his own fights here, not be determined by the opponents. Now Guardian has to rotate, almost gets caught by Blades. He spotted him out. Oh, timing. If only you'd just seen him for a second longer there, but Edward now dealing with this well. Simple almost turning the tides back strongly in towards their hands. Can Edward do any more? No, he's done enough though, let's be honest here. Slowing them down, buying time for the rotate, allowing the others to get into positions that they can affect this in. Oh, great peek out from World Edit. That's going to make it harder. Now it's Simple under pressure. 1v2 after plant. I don't know if they expected yet. World Edit's adjusted. He's watching this. Simple doesn't know that, but he still gets the shot. It's a 1v1 now. Simple up against Markelov. Markelov is positioned to just see the cross here. He's playing from that little gap you can see from water. He's waiting to see if Simple will dare cross. Now, Simple obviously can't know that. He's going to peek for it though. He's not checked deep enough, but he still adjusts better than Markelov can. He's got a kit and he's going to get the defuse. Very well played.
Yeah, great patience from Simple there. Just waiting for Markelov to make a move. It hunches he's going to be on the left side from, well, basically the gap that he could see. And he was exactly right. Markelov in the water. That's going to be Simple coming out on top. And while that bomb plant does save Flipside a little bit, I'll be fine in the following round if they save this one. As they do, they'll get a 100% full buy. Now, NaVi's economy is not pretty either, so they're hoping to keep it clean on this one.
Yeah, this has still been a close game between these two. You're still seeing these competitive rounds, and my favourite factor being that Waylander's now back on the Revolver. It's really, really enjoyable. Look, I need happiness here, okay?
Yeah.
This is
It's
it.
been a rough day.
It's. Do you know what it has been? So, you know, you got to just find those small bits of happiness, that small bit of silver lining, which is Waylander decides, I want to bring the Revolver in. So again, best you're hoping for in this is a plant of some variety. Get maybe gun away or whatever you can. Any small benefit is a good one. Now he's actually got a chance here. That smoke's gone very deep, and oh my word, it almost happened. Not going to make much of that, but Simple isn't sure if he can back away yet. He's actually stuck around maybe a little too long, trying to make more of it, trying to be overstay is welcome. That's pretty much.
Exactly. We're speaking. The guys were talking about how he still needs to understand when to be aggressive, when to be passive, when to fall back, and that definitely was a situation where he needed to just fall back and keep the room away to Flipside. But here comes the rest of NaVi to just pick up the pieces. Blade, though, he answers with 1. Still has an M4 and 100 HP, but no armor, so the aim punch is going to be real. Doesn't matter, though. Guardian with the op gets that kill.
Just sent the gun flying as well. Just pings away. 10-4. If Flipside get the final one, it's still not a bad half. It's workable. It's doable.
Again, it could have been closer. It could have easily been closer.
These rounds have been close on so many occasions, so you know.
And you can't really, you know, the emphasis on that round where Guardian got those 2 kills in that 1-on-3 again just destroyed Flipside's economy. So they could have easily gotten one more buy into this half had Guardian not done what it did. But you know, that's Guardian. Those things happen. I
think that's the most true statement you can make about this, man. Is just those things just tend to happen, and I actually quite like that little adjusted peak there. It's hard to fall back from this, though. He's going to have some trouble doing it. He's got, well, he had Simple there with him, but he makes nothing of it. This is brilliant stuff from Flipside. So much more power to the way they're playing. Finally dismantle that two-man hit squad that was Guardian and Simple pushing up to party. And now it's left NaVi in a really bad position.
Yeah, that's the problem with that positioning, that it's when you overstay your welcome, then there's just no backup plan. Like, there's nothing you can do unless you can hit some nutty shots. And now it's down to Flamey and Edward in a 2-on-5 situation, and they are spread around on this map, one on B, one on A, and now only Flamey in B. And the bomb is actually right now still thinking of which way to go, because that A side is open. They've now noticed that. Waylander has made his way on A, and the bomb is rotating there as well.
Yeah, they've got Waylander in such a good spot. He's basically playing initial contact point. No one's going to get past him. So Flipside do bring it back to what could be a very good scoreline coming into the next half. They have enough rounds to work with. That's what I'm looking at here. It's not over. It's not done and dusted yet. A 10-5 scoreline is workable. Just,
Yeah.
you've got to get that pistol in and build off the back of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, NaVi was doing a great job at beginning, playing aggressive towards the fountain. Then Flipside found a way how to neutralize that. We saw that in that last round as well. You know, when you're just staying there a little bit too long, then you're just going to get wrecked.
Simple as that. Well, you make it sound simple as that. But guys, we're going to be back after a very short break with the second half to find out who will walk away with this map. So welcome back. It was a 10-5 finish in the end. Flipside pulling up that final round, give them a good fighting shot into the second half here. Certainly can pull us back a little bit closer. Again, though, NaVi looking pretty deadly. You're starting to see that duo building. You're seeing Simple being a little more aggressive like we wanted. But do you think that's going to transition to the second half?
I mean, it has to be said that these last three halves that we've seen have been very entertaining. So much back and forth Counter-Strike. So many situations where the team that's not being in the advantageous situation has somehow come out on top. In a 3-on-5, we looked at the numbers for NaVi, for example. Usually they win over 80% of those situations where they get the opening kill. Now they won 80% of the rounds where they lost the first two members.
Yeah.
So,
Kind of
give or take, a lot of things can happen in a game of Counter-Strike.
Certainly can. I think that's the theme of today, or at least if you go into some of the rounds of how they played out. But we are going to get this one started up. And of course, the side switch is coming. So we NaVi sitting on the T side now, and then Flipside on the CT side here. So now Flipside do have to kick this one off with a pistol, I feel. You know, to get on back into position, this is a big round for them.
Yeah, looking at the buy from NaVi, they have only one set of nades on Seized, everyone else with some Glocks and armors. So that indicates a rather simple play, and as we can see, they are going towards that B bomb side right away. Markelov, though, with a nice headshot on the Flamey to start things off.
absolutely gorgeous there. Flamey's head's just left rolling on the floor after the back of that one. Now, NaVi's plan has certainly been seen. It's been hindered at this point. Markloff's actually going back for more. Cheeky as you like, and now he gets punished. Edward's not going to let him get away with that one. It's a 4v4 now, but Welded picks up the mantle where his teammate Markloff left off. However, Blade getting dinked up, getting taken down. This is the class Edward can bring. He's another one of those players known for his pistoling ability, but it's a 2v2. Doesn't expect Shara. I don't know how that happened. Shara already killed the bomb planter.
Yeah, well, silenced USP. Wasn't sure where he was shooting from. I'm guessing that's the case, and now it's going to be simple in a 1-on-2. The plant is relatively good for him. It seems though that they have an idea where the simple is, and Shara with another nice headshot. And that's going to be Flipside winning that very crucial pistol round.
Yeah, credit to Shara there, taking down the planter, catching out Edward as he kind of pushed for it a little too far, and of course closing it there, just well played, well rounded. Keep a good amount of players alive too, so, you know, again, keeping this one building well for themselves. 6 to 10, however, they need, ideally, to see Flipside get a good game back in this. I want to see the next two in their favor too.
Well, let's see what NaVi does here in round number 2 of second half. They have upgraded some pistols, no armors in play, and Edward with the lone smoke. They're hoping to get a bomb plan out of this, but look at this. Flipside, they're throwing some aggressiveness of their own here towards these fountain.
Does it work out? Well, there's the first step in a good direction. Waylander there. You got to be careful. You know, as I said, it's the balance. You don't want to be too over-aggressive. Stay out, make yourself vulnerable to these pistols. You want to keep it in check, and this is the problem now. He thinks he needs to back away. He has to run. He's one of the only players with the fully upgraded rifle. So again, let players like Blade come in. Let players like Shara be a factor in this. You know, this is what you want to be doing. Build up that bank yourself, and don't just take needless risks. So it does seem as though Flipside will be picking that one up pretty cleanly.
It appears so, yes. Well, now we have a buy here coming in for a NaVi. They have AKs on the board. Now they're playing some of the range too. They have a bunch of flashes, 2 smokes to work with, so not a lot of options they can really have here. It does enable them to do a simple B hit, for example, or they can obviously do an A hit, but there's going to be a lack of smokes they can throw. Now, they used one here to the toilets.
Interesting way of doing the smoke. I haven't seen that many people do it that way. There's easier ways, but it's how they want to do it. Nice and quick. Allow NaVi to make a quicker play straight towards those toilets through party, gain that early control. So,
yeah, just a map control play here from NaVi, making sure that Flipside's coming in and trying to play aggressive towards the fountain. They will try to make it as uncomfortable as possible. Now, they have established that map control now, and that gives them a lot of options. As we can see, Flipside have sent 2 players here on long. A bit of a stack here. We'll edit that up. Standing on top of his teammate and gets a nice shot on the Guardian. Great opening, but here comes Simple. He's going to get the retaliation. That weighed under as well. But he makes a return happen now to 4-3. And the advantage was in the favor of Flipside, but not anymore.
yeah, trading back and forth. Eventually, as you said, Flamey just tips it into NaVi's hands, and it was a fine line, but the bomb's not with them at the moment. The bomb's still back down by Party, so you've got to be kind of careful here. Shara's found C's, so these guys are running out of options. Edward hits a blinder, but 40 seconds left. They have some side control, but they're worried about that bomb. Shara, if only you knew, he was just jumping around with his knife out. Pretty reckless at this point, leaving it just in the hands of Markloff.
Can't really guess that happened, can you? But Markloff does make it a one-on-one. Gets a kill on Edward. Now, Flamey, with 25 on the clock, still has the possibility of going to B, and that's exactly the choice he makes. And I think Markloff is still staying on A. He is, but it's going to be a fast rotation to B. So he's got all the play for here.
He's got opportunities, and he's got so much to work with in the form of a molly, a flash, and nade. He can clear a lot of this out quite quickly, but see how he approaches this one. Flamey's backed off the site, so he's got a better spot than before, I guess. That's one way to use your molly.
That's a Molotov, yeah.
I don't know if it could be intended. You can certainly just crouch there. Now, I wonder if Flamey's going to read into that, thinking this position's been kind of found. It certainly wasn't. It was just a random nade that came through, and Flamey still wins it. He was down to 28 HP. I don't know how he pulled that one off.
Me neither. If I'm totally honest, that seemed like Markloff should win that 100% any day of the week, but Flamey does make it happen. And that back and forth circus goes the way of NaVi in the end. And now this is going to put Flipside in a situation where we'll have to force into it. Well, they still do have 4 M4s, but Blade with just a 5-7 to play with. And obviously, for NaVi too, their mind is going to be in all kinds of trouble because of how close that round got. And again, they're going for that mid control. Slower though. They're just thrown off the smoke for toilets. waiting for any potential aggressiveness from Flipside.
Don't mind this from Na'Vi, known for their patience in play. See another minute go past, they just work their way through the map very meticulously, and it works for them. But as said, it's still going to be pretty tricky to break into. Flipside, however, don't have much to hold them back this time around. They don't have that nice set to play with. It's more a flash or two here or there, one molly, two smokes, not much as said. But Na'Vi aren't exactly flush for it either. So again, both teams are quite cautious. They look like they're posturing towards B. You've got those two players by Monster. You've got Guardian going all the way around spawn. So Shara and Markov will be the ones to have to deal with this eventually.
Yeah, the problem is that Flipside has no diffuse kit, so that's going to make a potential after plant a lot stressful, more stressful for them. And now Na'Vi setting two off Monster, Flamey and C's just making their way, but Shara in prime position to stop this push. Doesn't get anything going for him though. Seized with the opening kill, and they're just going to be floundering on this bomb side. Markov, nice shot onto Edward. A lot of damage to C's, but not managing to get that kill.
And he adjusted so well on this. Waylander just dropped on him though. Waylander was on his head for a second. I don't understand what just happened there. Now, World in a 1v4, he needs to try and find a way to keep hold of this gun because Na'Vi with so much power once they hit that side.
Yeah, that was just a slow walk into B, and Shara, who was in a prime position, had he taken that angle he had previously, I think he could have easily gotten 2 kills there. Ends up with nothing. And now it's going to be Na'Vi securing that one and putting Flipside in an awkward situation with their economy. Going to have to save once in the following round, and for Na'Vi, they survive with 4. That means they'll build a bit of a buffer.
Maybe able to keep it. just sit there. It's like that game of hide and seek. Just don't move. It's fine. All right.
I'm not here.
If I don't look at them, they won't see me. Okay. He's perfectly fine. There's no one going to be checking this because you'll be already saying, well, Guardian's cleared it already. There's no need to. But very impressive stuff from Na'Vi there. Once they, get something in mind.
Simplicity works sometimes flawlessly. I mean, you can just walk into bomb sites, and especially when your opponent doesn't have a lot of utility to pre-nade, pre-molly spots, and so forth, it can work out. And then, obviously, when you have the firepower that Na'Vi has, they can make those kinds of runs really work for themselves. And they trade effectively once again. Then you saw Waylander with a bit of a play from that upper deck, just totally blindly, from jumping down, dying. There you have it.
Simple as that. Now, obviously, Flipside is suffering off the back of this. Their money is in complete disarray. You've got one man, obviously, retaining their weaponry. So, while it can be played into this, but how do you play that one card? It's going to be tricky. So, Na'Vi already maybe expecting a little bit of this. You can see Guardian getting real close to the smoke, trying to find his way around it, but now the rifle is just down below him. He can't spot it out in time. There we go. Finally, they get a bit of impact play building into this, but Simple is there, and Simple is having none of it. There it is. There it's shut down. The gun gets removed. Na'Vi build that economy even stronger. So they're up to, the likes of 6k, almost 7 on Simple. You've got the AWP out for Guardian, and it's scraping your pennies together for Flipside.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's going to be a glass cannon op for World Edit, and no diffuse kits once again. So should it go to an afterplant situation, it's going to make it a lot more stressful for Flipside. Now, on the other hand, Na'Vi, with everything they could really wish for, and again, he's just looking for that smoke. He's going to throw towards the toilets, but World Edit legs Flamey there in that aggressive stance. And this time they go through the playground. Going for long, and they get the control right away, yeah.
Seeing Na'Vi with pace, this is something that I actually enjoy watching, is that they have a bit of a switch. They very rarely hit is, okay, we go from being quite calm, being very patient, to being very quick, and not quick enough there. Well, it's unable to follow up off that first very nice shot they landed towards Guardian, but the spray down comes in from Waylander. The pressure's a little bit of hit and miss on the timing, and it does leave Na'Vi with 3 players, but on such low HP, somehow still making it work.
Exactly. Now, it is a 2-on-3 situation, but the HP for Flamey and Seized is so low that there's still a lot of opportunities. This grenade, for example, could be gold, but it doesn't end up being that. Instead, bounces off the car, or the truck rather. And now Shara, is he going to have his timing right? Gets 1 kill. He's got 1-on-2 now, and Simple, the last 2 kills of the round, and somehow Na'Vi does survive that one. Even Walder with a great sword, gets a leg shot onto Flamey, and then gets a frag again. And that's plenty of work from him. The HP being solo for Na'Vi, it didn't seem very likely that they would actually come away with that.
Yep.
But they did, once again.
Just so much firepower on this Na'Vi side. This is something that always just sits in my mind, is the fact that Flipside and Na'Vi have had a brilliant tactical game leading up to this too. It's been beautiful to watch, but then just the finish that comes in with Na'Vi is just so much superior. It's hard to miss it or avoid it. you can definitely see the disparity between one to the other. There's certainly been moments of Flipside, though.
Yeah, and just give this lineup a little bit more time. When they find that finesse, I could see them being the scary side, that's for sure. Flamey going for the opening. He gets one on the world edit, and it's going to be a save for Flipside here. They are in a situation where, well, they're going to be able to buy fully in the following round. Now, CS gets a kill, but it's going to be Markelov with the retaliation. It gets to pick up an AK-47 and would love to save that one. Not sure if NaVi is going to give that opportunity to him, though.
No, they've been pretty relentless at chasing these boys down. Good position from Blade, getting have the chance. Oh my word, though, can't get into that. Tried to just hop around, trying to avoid the inevitable fact the Guardian will probably kill him, but he did leave Guardian on 1 HP.
Yeah, exactly. Had he known that, it would have maybe played that a little different. But obviously, he doesn't know the HP of his opponents, exactly like we can see them here. The bomb goes down, and Markelov actually is playing with the idea of trying to make some damage happen here in that 1-on-3 situation. Still has a grenade, but no defuse kit, no armor, obviously. So it's going to be tough. Even getting one more kill would be, you know, that would be great, but not making a massive difference in what's going on with this. He does get a kill on a Flamey. Now, it is that 1 HP Guardian, and Simple's still alive. Guardian is waiting, moving around. He gets that kill, and that's going to be NaVi on 15.
That's it, 15-7 now. The final big buy coming in for Flipside, if NaVi, of course, pick this one up. This is where they've got to make their stand somehow. They have at least a little bit to play with in the form of they can get a really nice buy. They had to go through that previous round as much as it hurt. You know, you just got to forego it. Come in with a big buy here, try and take it to OT, try and take it throughout the entire series, but not going to be easy with NaVi showing some really good clarity so far on their T side. Lovely dash of aggression here and there. You know, we might be seeing it again. I think they've kind of messed up the molly a little bit, but oh, it's kind of trickled down enough. Edward's got to be careful, backs away from it, and allows Flamey to take the first steps.
Yeah, this seems like it's going to be a B play right off the get-go. Flamey already by those sunbacks, but he has two guys from Flipside looking from 2 different angles. He's going to flash in. The bomb is still down all the way back, so this is just Flamey trying to make a play, try to create an opening before NaVi does something, but instead it's going to be seized with the opening kill before Shara can do something about it.
Yeah, this is going so badly for Flipside. It seems like it's just a little bit messy here. They had so many players on the side. Now they still got 2 more, make it 1 more. This is just unreal stuff.
And now it's a 2-on-3, which is a world that is way down there live here. The bomb's making its way towards the middle, towards Fountain, so it's not even committing to the B bomb site. And Flipside is holding 1-on-1. It's going to be Waylander on the A side, world that is holding B.
Waylander's got to play this to perfection if they want to pull anything off here. Oh, and you got a feel from Simple's already pulled up so close towards the side. He's done the job. He's trailblazed the way. He's got ahead of the curve. Now he can secure down a little lower. Just try and play, you know, pretty much the feelers in this one. And he spots him out himself. Simple wasn't the man to be even meaning to get that, but he closes it down anyway. And NaVi, once they got onto that T side, just dominating.
Exactly. They were superior in the second half. They were winning all the situations, even the ones again when they were outnumbered. But for the most part, they were the one just dictating the pace, dictating the place everywhere, really. You know, it doesn't matter if they had low economy, they would just walk into bomb sites to get the entry kills and then they trade effectively and just leave their opponents outnumbered.
Yeah, it's always gorgeous to watch NaVi, and you're seeing an even further layer coming to this roster of they have so much potential and firepower. As you said, if that finesse comes through, if that little bit of polish maybe on this line of that final big push, they are world beaters. I think, you know, NaVi already were, you know, your top 3 anyway. You could easily put them in that sort of situation, but my word, now, once these guys really come together.
They're in the same weight class together with the, well, SK, for example. Like, SK being the benchmark at this point. They're definitely individual skill-wise, they are in the same level. So, I mean, you can see them just winning a lot of those rounds where they don't have the advantage, but it's just because of how good they are playing off each other and how good their instinct is in Counter-Strike-wise for all those individuals.
It's brilliant to watch. It's been very enjoyable so far, but of course, overall, that's our thoughts. Let's hear what the desk has to say about that one.
Thank you very much, Lauren. Just great stuff on display here from NaVi thus far. And another chapter, I guess, in a map for Flipside, which has, again, not really been great for them in the past, or recently, as was good in the past, I guess. Can we start off by unpacking, I guess, a lot of the issues we're seeing from Flipside here, especially on that CT side? Struggled to get a foothold in the second half.
Yeah, I think the problem was when it came to that CT aggression we were talking about. Now he was able to pull it off and, you know, get a favorable trade. While Flipside, every time they went for it, they would get a kill, but immediately get traded by NaVi. And, you know, when you get even trades, especially on a map like Overpass, it will always favor the terrorists, right? Because they can hit one bomb site while you have to spread out on the CT side. And that, combined with great individual play, mostly from Simple, he was able to get those entry kills time and time again, was what brought NaVi the win.
Yeah, and if you look at the technical aspect of you know, breaking that down a little bit further and why they weren't able to get the trades, if you look at NaVi, they go out together and they understand why they're doing what they're doing to achieve it. Whereas I think with Flipside, they're saying, okay, we need to get aggressive because that's just the way Overpass is played, but they don't really understand it in full, and it shows in little ways. So Waylander, I was getting ready to talk him up after the first sort of anti-eco situation that they had after winning Pistol. Goes out, gets in the bathroom connector, sees 2 players at long, does 1 kill, but loses a lot of HP. Instantly rotates back out, calls for his teammate to switch him in, and covers off the main doorway just by holding the angle at bathroom. That's the very simple timing and tandem play that you need to have on Overpass to make sure you're always securing the man advantage. And as soon as no sooner, in fact, that I say I want to really talk this guy up, the next round, they're at long. World Edit hits a lovely op shot from the flower pot and then starts to fall back to A. But rather than having Waylander come out with the M4 and cover off the angle for the close peek of the guy coming out of bathrooms, he stays tight in by the corner, which means what's the point if you're going to try and support World Edit running back, right? So there's your 1-1. He goes back, gets caught. Now it's a 2-1 kill. Waylander doesn't wide peek back out. They're just, the little timings were off. And he was off in a number of ways. There's another one out toward front bathroom, same thing. He got a kill, but didn't play off his teammate correctly. They didn't cover each other for trades. If you watch Fnatic, they'll always trade in those situations. And it's one of the reasons why they're so good at Overpass. And World Edit in general as well. There was another round, I think he ran into the B site and was a little bit, I don't know, excited when he just jumped in through a smoke for no reason at all when he had 2 players he was rotating with.
And Waylander as well just flashed himself out of heaven straight on towards that side.
That's the play, yeah.
For a retake as well, and obviously nothing was really going to come of that as well. So a bit of a over-aggression there in a couple senses. This setting up for trays, we'll quickly cap that off there as well. Why is it that you have time to set up as a CT-sided team, you have time to get ready on a bomb site to receive a push? Why was Flipside not actually able to orchestrate that properly? Now, mid-round, we understand that the decision-making wasn't good, but how is it that NaVi were able to just clip their wings as they sort of move around a site, playing slowly as they do?
I think it's because NaVi realized how they were playing the CT side, so NaVi just spreads out a little bit. You could see that one round where I think it was Flamey or Edward was creeping up long. He gets the kill on World Edit, pushes all the way to the site, and that leaves the other CT player who was close to the toilet, you know, in the middle of nowhere, right? He has to watch out for the side, but there's also people coming from, you know, his direction as well. They were just creating chaos more than anything else, and they were really good at changing up the pace. There was that round where they just pushed out long really early on, and Flipside just couldn't adjust in time, basically.
You can see some of the examples here, seized with a couple of moments there up on that site, and Guardian, a very solid CT side to start things off. We didn't really talk about the first half too much. It was very much a NaVi show until Flipside eventually broke back in towards a half. But you can see this CT aggression here playing off for Guardian.
And you can see how he was, you know, switching his positions, right? That's what you want from a AWP player, because that's always going to keep the T's guessing where he might be. It's going to be really hard to, you know, read the CTs at that point. And when you look at it generally, he's playing A along with Simple. So you have Simple and Guardian to go through in the A bomb side, and B is naturally harder to hit, right? At least early on. So I can see NaVi being really dangerous on Overpass.
We are added potency here for NaVi. So the situation stands as such, 0-8 for Flipside now, looking very average heading in towards the middle of the season, and NaVi goes 6-0.
The two only teams with zeros in either column.
There you go. Easy as that. Now, I am told this strange device...
That wasn't meant to be edgy. It's just an interesting note.
No.
Did you just... You wrecked my Score Esports thing.
He started to look at me. Look, I'm Canadian. I'm allowed to pick on other Canadians. Score Esports. There's an Atlanta and Toronto. Everything's Canadian in esports right now. See, it's done for you.
Thank you.
Just tell them where to download it.
Get it on the phone, all right? iOS or the Google Play Store. I'm completely derailed now as well. Get the app and get your CSGO scores. We're going to get back after the break with NIP versus Mouse Sports to cap off our evening and week.